Control is king. So jiu-jitsu is such a unique activity in my mind, at least, where not who's stronger, not who's faster, but the person who's truly in control is able to manipulate the situation and really benefit from what is being presented at that point of time. So what does control really mean? There is this unique principle that I often refer to, which is control versus mobility. So imagine if you are hugging somebody and you are connected to them. And the moment you are connected to them, you cannot move. You cannot circle around them. You're fully connected to them. However, the moment you let go, now you can rotate around that person, but at the same time, you are not connected, not as much at least. So control is the ability essentially to pick and choose whether you are fully connected to somebody and you are not moving around them, or you are not as much connected, and now you can manipulate a situation where you can go forward, backwards, around, you can change the angles and so on. And control, in my mind, is the ability to select which one you will do and at any given time so you can benefit the most out of the entire situation. So there will be some points of time in a jiu-jitsu match, whether you're top or bottom, where you really want to attach yourself to the other individual. And by being heavy, being centralized, being applying pressure points, you can really slow them down and pin them into the ground with the use of gravity. However, there are other times, whether you're top or bottom, where you don't want to be attached. You really want to be more fluid. A good example would be passing a guard. You can't pass the guard if you're hugging somebody completely, hugging his knees. You got to let go at some point of those knees in order for you to pass the hips. So, and that's just one of the examples, right? There could be many different situations in which we have to let go of the attachment in order for us to have a little bit more mobility. So attachment equals less mobility, more mobility equals less attachment in most of the cases. So how do we manipulate this? How can we use this to our advantage? It's this selective intent of what we are trying to achieve. So if I need to move or relocate from one position to another, I do have to release a certain amount of attachment simply because I'm relocating my body from one point to another. So if you're moving from hips towards the shoulders, you have to let go of the hips in a sense. You have to move your body towards the shoulders. And once you at the shoulder, one is the desired point where you want to be, you can reattach yourself again. But oftentimes we find, especially at the beginning of the journey, we find ourselves in a spot where we really try to squeeze. And that's very visible when we are exploring new situations or exploring new escapes. We're trying to really attach ourselves. And at the same time, we are trying to move to a new location. And oftentimes this is where the conflict comes in. And oftentimes that is a point of difficulty for many students. So reflect on this by yourself. Anytime you are really squeezing somebody, you're gonna have to have difficulty moving. You're applying pressures. You are attached to them. You doing something else that giving them a hard time, but you're definitely not moving around their body or relocating your position to a different spot. At the same time, when we flip the coin, when we are relocating ourselves, we cannot be putting pressures. The pressure is not going to be the same. The pressure is not going to be pinpointed in that specific location. The pressure will be moving. As a result of that, we have to lift that pressure in order for us to shift in one or the other direction. Experiment with this principle. I have not learned this, until a little bit deeper into my jiu-jitsu journey. Yet it changed the way how I look about transitions. It changed the way how I look about control itself. Keep on training. Peace.